What's going down? What's going down? Welcome to the blacksmith. I propose a question. Do women deserve a high value man? I know, right? Do they deserve it? Well, I tell you what, they did talk about this in the Fresh and Fish show, but don't take my word for it. No need to waste some time. Let's get it.
Donald, Martin, what's your wingspan? I don't know. All right, thanks, Donald. I appreciate it, though. Question for the ladies: do you think you deserve a high value man, and why? We can go around the table on this one real fast.
It's an early one.
We'll start here. Do you think you deserve a high man, and why?
Absolutely.
Okay. Why so?
Because I'm a high value woman.
Okay. What makes you a high value woman?
My own. I've got a great career. I take care of my family, my great friends. So yeah, like why not? I know what I have. I know who I am.
Go Queen.
So,
What do you have?
a lot. I have a lot to offer, and I have a lot of confidence in myself.
Okay, like
So why would I not deserve a high value man
what do you have to offer?
as a woman?
Yeah.
I think I know I'd be a great
She
mom.
says she holds her own, great career, friends, and
Right.
confidence.
He tried it down.
It's not tangible though.
Yeah, I know.
Why is that not tangible?
She's extremely hardworking. I
So,
don't think that's intangible.
You know what? It's too early to say that, so we'll just move on.
Well, yeah, interesting.
Go.
Okay. What about you? Do you deserve a high value man, and why?
Yeah,
Okay. Why?
because kind of like she said, I hold myself with the highest value. So why wouldn't I? I mean, like in a sense, I expect my man to treat himself with high value. You know what I'm saying? Like I want him to view himself with a high value. It doesn't matter what other people see him as.
Yeah, but
If that makes
if he's
sense.
high value, he's probably going to want something in exchange for that. We're asking you, what would you exchange?
Like I don't know. Like I don't.
Fantastic. So, yes, you deserve one, but you can't articulate why. All right, what about you? Do you deserve a high value man? If so, why?
I believe I do
Okay, why?
because my parents have instilled in me values of a high skilled woman, such as work ethic, being nurturing, being, a good partner, understanding that a relationship is 100% from both sides, not 50-50. And, if I accept any less, it would be a disappointment not only to my family, but to myself as well, and to everything that I've worked hard for.
So, your parents' work ethic, being nurturing, good partner, 100% on both is what qualifies. Okay. What about you?
Actually, I do believe that I deserve a high value man. I have a high value man, and I honestly did not get my high value man until I learned to love myself, until I grew a relationship with God and just understood. I'm also very young, so just till I
It's a
understood.
big part of it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't until I understood what it is to please a man and be there for a man. I didn't get a high value man.
Can you
Yeah.
explain some of like what do you do to keep your guy around?
He works, year round.
Uh-huh.
I'm there for him. I'm very supportive. I'm understanding of what he does. When he's at 25, I'm at 75. I mean, I go visit him when I can, and when I'm there, he's gone most of the time. But I just make sure, when he's home, there's food there for him. I make sure that when he works all the time. Right now, I'm an esthetician. I technically work for myself. So it's like the least I could do is just make sure he has nothing else to stress about. He has nothing else to worry about. Just be
His peace.
His peace,
Yeah,
just
100%.
even though we are long distance right now, he's in South Carolina playing. I'm here in Miami. I make sure that, I don't do anything that is disrespectful to him. And I also keep him updated. For example, he has my location. He knows my every move. And it's not just because he's controlling, it's just because I have that respect for him to be like, I don't want you to worry about me or what I got going on.
Baby, you smart. You very smart. Matter of fact, you a genius.
Interesting. What about you? Do you deserve a high value man? And if so, why? And ladies, there's nothing, I find it very interesting that all of you say yes, especially when a high value guy is like in the top 1% man.
You can say no.
There's nothing wrong with saying no. But
I generally just believe that you get what you deserve.
Yeah, I was gonna say value to me isn't like I don't know. It's not like money or anything like that. It's just like a mutual respect that you should have for one
I think
another.
you get what you deserve if you can keep it. But a lot of
Yeah.
girls get a
Yeah,
high
it's
value
not
guy
hard
for
to
a
get
night.
a man.
It's not, you might get a high value guy for a night, but that doesn't mean you deserve it.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you can't keep it, it's a blessing because that means they weren't made for you and they're not
Yeah, that's
they're
not
not up
your
to your standards.
That's a good excuse.
Yeah,
but
it's female
It's
cope.
not hard to get a man.
It's-
It's hard to keep a man.
It's not what
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want, it's what you work hard to deserve.
Exactly.
That makes
So if
sense.
they can keep up with it, then great. If they
Them or
can't, then
you?
they can, exit.
Them or you?
But I feel like
Literally
vice
that.
versa for a man
But he
too.
was asking
if
her. Yeah, we're just
she's-
asking her.
No,
Go ahead.
who has to work harder, them or you?
No, I'm just saying personally, if I'm working hard
Mm.
to get what I have at the moment and I'm happy and I'm content,
Mhm.
and if the man that I'm with can't match that, they can walk out.
Oh, you mean effort wise?
Yeah.
Effort wise, work ethic, loyalty, long term goals.
Interesting.
I think those should all be in line. And if they're not,
Yeah.
the door is absolutely right there.
But if what men want aren't necessarily in line with what you want,
Well, like I said, the door's right there.
very, very interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
I can
Well-
see your parents always taught you how to argue as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? Do you think you deserve a high value man? Yes or no? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I think everyone deserves as much as they think and can imagine. Everyone.
Yeah, just manifest, Queen.
Just for
Okay.
breathing.
Yeah, I very believe in manifestation, and I think if you
So everyone
speak it into
deserves what they-
existence.
You think everyone deserves what they feel?
I mean, I feel like
Merch.
I feel like just like she was saying, like you want it to be equal. If someone's like slacking and you feel like you're working way harder than them, it's not gonna work because it's always gonna feel like someone's not playing their role.
Mhm.
Okay. So everyone seems to me like everyone deserves what they want
For breathing.
for existing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
So what would you? So tell me what you would bring to this guy if you deserve a high value man. What would you bring that would?
I'm also bringing value.
Which is?
What's the value?
Oh, it depends what they need. Like of anything, you can bring business, nurture, taking care of them, making sure everything runs smooth, making sure they're good, making sure mentally they're good. Just being there to support them and be there for them.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Interesting. What about you?
I don't think I deserve anything, but do I
Okay.
want a high value man? Of course.
Okay. So you want one, but you don't know if you deserve one right now.
It's not that I don't know. It's that I don't think like
At this point,
I'm-
right here, right now, in this moment in your life, do you deserve a high value man? Yes or no, and why?
She can't answer the question.
Like I said, I don't deserve a high value man.
Okay, so no.
I don't honestly. I mean, I'm trying to like make it make sense. Like it's.
So why aren't you ready for this man?
I mean,
What has to change? Why aren't you ready?
I mean, just because I'm not like fully where I want to be.
Okay.
Okay. In your opinion, ladies, do you think every woman deserves a high value guy?
Absolutely.
We'll
not,
say here.
Wow.
Yes or no? No.
Interesting.
No.
Even though they feel like no.
They're breathing.
Well, I
Yeah.
They
think
can breathe.
they definitely can shoot for the stars. They should manifest all their dreams. Yes.
yes.
Manifestation.
What about
Yes.
you?
Absolutely not.
No.
Speak it to
Especially growing up here in
existence.
Miami, half you
Yeah.
Can I say
Y'all,
bitches?
Yeah, go
y'all
ahead.
bitches
half of you
crazy.
bitches don't deserve half the shit that you ask for. And it's honestly like I am from here and I grew up here, and to be honest, I can say like I had to grow up well beyond my years because I'm from here, and witnessing women at 20, 21, 22, and I'm 16 or whatever. No, y'all don't deserve shit.
Okay.
Y'all
All
don't
right.
deserve shit at all.
Does every woman deserve a high value guy in your opinion?
Me?
No, I'm
Oh,
asking
sorry.
her. You said no.
I think it depends what you bring to the table. If you bring enough to the table that they match it, then absolutely. If you bring absolutely nothing to the table, then you can ask for a high valued man.
Okay.
So
What about you?
No.
All right.
No, you
Now,
can't. You can't just be like silver spoon baby, silver spoon relationship. Like you can't just expect everything. You have to bring something to the table.
So let me ask you a tough question. You said you
Mhm.
hold your own. You got a great career, friends, and confidence. Do you think high value men look for that in women? Realistically speaking.
No, I actually don't.
So do you
It
really think you
depends.
qualify for one? then?
It depends on the man. It depends on because every man's different. You have your opinion. He has his opinion. We all have our own opinions. It depends on the person. It depends on what the guy wants.
But I
yeah,
would say
a lot of the time, a
generally,
lot
though.
of super wealthy, they look for hot young girls, and I understand that. Of course.
So do you really think you qualify for a guy when you gave a bunch of metrics that they're not necessarily looking for by your own admission?
I think I do because, like I said, I'm confident in myself and I know who I am.
You're confident in yourself.
You're confident in
Yes,
yourself
I-
when you bring
Which
things
is
to the
great.
table, which is
I think
fantastic.
I think a high
you
value
have to
man would
define-
walk
Please
around
let
with
me finish
confidence.
my point. But a high value guy, if you guys want me to see, they didn't ask that before.
Now
they're
they're
asking.
clarify.
Yeah, it's a higher status guy that has money, respect from his peers and society in general.
Status.
Has status. He's a guy that other men simply want to be and other women want to be with.
Right.
So you said before that you think that you do deserve a high value man, and I asked you, well, do you think he's looking for these things that you mentioned? You're saying no. So
Depends on the man.
but what I'm telling you is that men that make a certain amount of money and have a certain level of status, we're fairly similar in the way that we think and view the world, whether you may know it or not, or whether we may admit it to you or not. Guys that are higher earning typically have the same prerequisites. Men are fairly simple. Women tend to complicate them for no reason. So
That's fair.
do you think you qualify for one at this point still?
Yeah.
You still do,
Mhm.
Yeah.
even though we just went over, they're not looking for these things.
Well, what do you think that they're looking for?
Well, I'll go over that here in a second, but
I still
I
feel
I
like
think that's
I do.
just a small part
March.
of her whole everything. She
I
did-
mean, these
it's
are
just
these are good accolades.
vague
No, these are good
answers.
accolades, but these aren't necessarily accolades that men are
They-
looking for.
Right. That's what I mean. I think
Wouldn't-
she just gave like a quick little vague.
Oh, now you want to
expression
articulate.
first.
When I asked you, you had nothing to say.
Because we're not talking about me right now. We're talking about her.
Wow.
And
Incredible.
I've talked to a couple of high value men, I guess, since you gave the definition. And it's like you were saying, it depends. Like, because I've met some high value men who are nowhere near the brain wave that I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So it just depends on the personality and the energy and
I'd have to
Yeah.
agree now that you defined the high value men that you described versus what I thought in my head a little bit different. Because high valued men to me means that they like value their family, they put their family first.
That, of course, could be a component.
Right. So that's why I'm saying it really depends on how you define them. And I guess my definition was a little bit different because if you just have money and you're successful, that doesn't mean necessarily that that's what I want.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
wouldn't it be fair to say that if they're one of their components is to put their family first, in order to have the highest success of a good family, you would look for a younger, more fertile, more impressionable woman willing to follow your lead?
100%. But
See, so you
but-
might, as a woman, you might
but
look at it
your
like,
question was if we deserve a high valued man.
yes.
Right. So your definition of a high valued man was different than what mine was because mine was somebody who respects their family, respects their woman, etc. Yours, as you just said, was more so financially stable, etc. So I think it really depends on the definition that you have of that man.
But even by your definition of respecting family, I would say a guy looking for a younger, more impressionable woman to have a family with is fairly intelligent from a male perspective. Again, this is
Boom.
talking from the guy's side.
yeah, I'm not
You
a
know, we
guy,
tend
so
to
I wouldn't
focus
know.
on
but-
in today's day and age, we tend to focus a lot on what women want, but not necessarily what men want. Which is
Yeah,
why when I asked you the
100%.
question, do you these things that you bring to the table, do you think men actually like them? And when you actually thought about it, you said no. Yet when I asked you why do you qualify for high value man, you led with all these traits. See the disconnect?
Well, there's
Yeah.
there's more to it. My like she said, my answer was vague. Like they want, like I said, a young hot girl that's fertile, like that can produce babies for them and healthy babies for them, of course. And then they also want a woman that can cook for them, clean for them, have dinner on the table for them when they come home because they're working all day, which I also understand. So yeah, if you can provide all of those things, of course. So why wouldn't I deserve that? And why wouldn't a lot of us
You
deserve
didn't
that?
mention when I asked you what do you bring, you didn't mention any of these a second ago.
Because like I said, my answer was vague at the beginning, but I
now it's
also
vague.
understand.
None of these connect to what you said before. That's the point. You didn't mention anything about like
Well-
house duties or being
See,
a dutiful
those are-
wife
those
or
are
girlfriend.
tangible.
Well,
Like,
these are
you gave a
things.
bunch of
These are
success-
things that
To
you
hold
be
on,
fair,
hold on.
you're taking
Hold
notes.
on.
She's not.
These
You're
are
welcome. I could give her a piece of paper and a pen too. But what I'm saying is that the things that she mentioned are fairly masculine. Holding my own, having a great career, confidence, good friends. These are masculine traits that men typically, brag about. Having a circle of friends and confidence, whatever. Men don't look for these things in women, however.
I
Well, we need
understand
friends
that,
for
but
your
why
friends.
can't you have both as a woman? Because I know that I have both.
So you
And
can,
I'm not talking out of my ass.
You're saying you have both now, but when I asked you what do you bring, you mentioned all the masculine things first.
Agreed, and maybe I shouldn't have done that, but
Boom.
I do also see the other side of it.
No.
Of course that they
You
want.
are aware of-
I'm not gonna take back my answer.
Yeah,
where
that's fine.
where I stand is where I stand, but I do think, like of course, they want the womanly traits as well. Like I said, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the house. Of
That's
course.
just second nature, though. If you're a woman, you got to do that
Exa-
for yourself regardless. Like,
Exactly.
100%.
Right.
Mm.
My thing is, I feel like it's either
Merch.
you're an asset or a liability. Like you're either adding value or you're
Yeah.
consuming it. So there's two different sides to everything. And if somebody is consuming your energy, taking from you, not leveling you up, not pushing you to do better in life, then it's not working. Like, but just like how you explained, like you said, high valued man is someone people look up to, yada yada yada. Okay, well, people
didn't
look
say
up
yada,
to
yada.
me. We have, you know, like
yeah.
people are looking at me, looking up to me. I'm technically
But do men care about that?
would be a high
Hold on,
valued
hold on.
woman.
No,
So why
the-
don't
Hold on.
I
the
deserve a
question
high
is-
valued man?
Do the men care about that?
So you as a man, can you tell us what men care about?
Well, I'll
since
get
we're
into
all
that here in a
Yeah, we're
second.
now we're just
I'll
like
get into that here in a second. But go, and then you didn't really have an answer when I asked you what qualifies you for a high value guy. You said that you would want a high value guy to hold himself with high value, which doesn't make sense, but that's fine. Move on to you. You said your parents' work ethic, being nurturing, a good partner, and 100% on both ends from both parties. Do you think high value men look for that in their partner?
I'm not sure because I'm not a man.
So, if you
which is why I didn't
Feel
answer.
the combativeness.
nice excuse. But I'm going
It's not
ahead.
an
I just need a
excuse,
man
I'm
who
just
knows how to
saying,
take care of
like-
himself.
She
That's
gave an
about
excuse
it.
for why she didn't answer, but I'm
Oh.
asking
That's
you.
what I meant when I gave my answer.
Yeah, well,
I just
yeah,
needed
too
Go
to
late
ahead.
now.
Wait.
Too
Say what
late.
you need to say.
I said it, and he heard me.
Yo,
Oh.
Fantastic.
can we agree that there's a disconnect here between what men want and what women
And what
want
you
as well?
think, like, do you
Yeah.
not see that?
Well,
do
there's
you think-
100% a disconnect since we're all women and we don't know what men want. We
But is
just
it- but think about
assume
that.
what they want from what we're,
Ooh.
when we're dating them and when we're seeing them.
But see, isn't it kind of strange that women don't really have to know what men want and they can kind of just make up in their
But
heads
that's
what
what
they
you're
think
asking
men want?
us.
But here, please let me finish my point. I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
I find it amazing that women can get into their 20s, be educated, know all these things about the world, but not necessarily know what the man that they want, a high value guy, wants back in return. Yet a high value man must know what a woman wants to attract her in the first place. Do you not see the disconnect there? That women have a privilege of not understanding the opposite gender, but the other gender must understand the woman to attract her in the first place?
I think that works both ways.
Yeah.
Like that's
Really?
the whole point of going on a first date is understanding what values one carries
Who
versus
initiates
the
the first
other.
date?
Of course,
I've
the man
initiated
Hold
did.
on.
first.
So
Again,
who has
it
to get you out on a
depends.
date?
Personally, to me, again, because I go back to the way I was raised,
Yeah.
the man.
Okay. So
But that's
hold
just
on. Let's
personally
stop
to
right
me.
there real quick.
Yeah.
Because you're saying it goes both ways, and I'm arguing it absolutely does not.
It goes to both ways once
does
the
not.
conversation starts happening. So, for example, if you go on an app, right, and somebody swipes, what is it, right, left?
It's right, yeah.
Okay, it's right. Whatever. So they swipe right. They're interested in you. Okay, you have to respond in order to say, "Hey, I'm interested in you too."
Uh-huh.
So that's where it goes both ways.
But-
Vice versa. If I swipe on a guy, whatever the direction is that I'm showing interest in, they have to show, "Hey, I'm interested in you as well." So that's where I'm
Okay.
saying it goes both ways.
Well, here's the reason why it does not go both ways.
Okay.
That man,
Mhm.
right, has to put in work from the beginning to be able to even get the opportunity to see you on the dating app and get swiped right on.
Like I said, I think it just depends on the person. Me personally, I'm an old soul. So for me, the type of guys that I attract are the type that reach out to me first and show interest first.
But that does not refute my argument that men inherently must understand women to attract them. That is my argument.
Well, that's why I'm saying it depends on the person.
For him to get you out on the date, he has to understand you to a significant degree to make you feel comfortable enough to show up on the first day and not flake on
Absolutely
him.
not. If they're just physically attracted to you, and if they see by your profile, and I'm speaking specifically
Let me
towards
ask you a
dating
question
app
then.
and
If he's physically
Instagram,
attractive, hold on. He's physically attractive and he messages you, let's fuck. Are you showing up on the date?
absolutely not,
Why?
because that's not my intention.
Thank you. So he's got to have a conversation with you
100%.
that's
But that's what I
coherent
was
to a
getting to.
degree, right?
That's what I was
He-
getting to
But
before
he's
you
got
cut
to
me
be the one
off.
to initiate, have the conversation, understand what makes you comfortable, what doesn't.
No,
right?
No.
Bruh.
You're taking my words out of context. What I'm saying is, if a guy reaches out to you, right, and you're interested, and you start having a conversation that leads to a date potentially, if you are interested. Vice versa. If you're interested in a guy and you swipe and show interest, that leads to a conversation, which leads to a potential date.
No, but you're saying conversation. He's saying that if a guy hits you up, let's fuck, without no conversation, would you go? You said
Right.
Me personally, absolutely not, because
Okay.
that's not how I want to
But,
start.
but that's my
that's not
point
how I
is
wanna
that,
start
see,
the
here's the
meet
thing, ladies.
up.
This is incredible to me right now that I even have to explain this. My argument is simply that men have to understand women to get relationships. Women don't have to understand men to get
I
relationships.
think women have to
And
understand
my argument
men,
for
100%.
that is because when a man initiates a date to get you out, he has to understand and know what to do to make you feel comfortable to come on the first date. The reality is, when he swipes right on Tinder, is he wants to say, I want to fuck the shit out of you. However, understanding women, he knows most girls will not bite on that. So he has to play a game, make you feel comfortable, get you on the date, seduce you to a degree, court you to a degree, and then work his way towards sex. Women don't have that burden of performance, which is my point.
But isn't that any
No.
type of situation
No,
in life?
no.
If you meet a
Hold
guy
on.
and their end goal is to have sex
But
with
your
you,
own answer, you don't even know what men want. So your argument's mute. Because you would know that if you actually understood what men really want.
well, like I just said, if
Checkmate.
you have a conversation with that man and you understand what they want, you would know where the end goal is.
No,
when
but
you meet up with
generally,
Men want the same things.
yeah, exactly.
Like this is another thing too that women
them.
there's this fallacy.
I don't know if I believe that because
Okay, well, here's the thing.
I have 12 cousins and they're all boys, and I could tell you.
They all want to
That-
smash.
Bro, like
Well,
so
not
this
you,
is-
not you.
see, women have
I
a
guess it
very
just-
bad
again,
habit.
I think it goes back to
of-
how you were raised.
No, women have an
No?
extremely bad habit of overcomplicating things and thinking that men and women are the same.
Yeah.
Men are very simple. Since the beginning of time, men have pretty much looked at the same things. There's a reason why the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. How has that stood the test of time? If men aren't as common with what they want, think about that. There's all these sayings that have stood the test of time. Men haven't changed that much throughout the centuries. Women have, thanks to feminism. So women tend to complicate what men want in the opposite gender, thinking that it's symmetrical. Oh yeah, we want your education, your career, your income, your ambition,
I don't
being
think
a
they've
good partner,
complicated it. I
etc.
think
Hold on,
they've
let me
just
finish my
spoken up
point.
about it.
My point is that women in general don't know what men want. However, men must understand what women want to be able to get laid and or get some type of relationship.
I agree 100%, to be honest.
Thank you. Someone logically sound here.
I
Like,
agree
Miss
100%.
10K
like women
chain.
get the privilege of not having to understand men. And your own answers prove it. There's a reason why I wrote it down. The things you guys mentioned, men don't typically look for in women. But women are able to say these ridiculous things because there's no burden of performance on you guys. For example, what you guys just said, my ambition, my holding my own, great career, loving myself, etc. These random things, that's equivalent to if a girl asked me, what do you think women want? And I said, well, I think they would want me to get a manicure every week, wear designer shoes all the time, maybe have a handbag, be dressed on fleek. Doesn't that sound kind of ridiculous? Because these aren't things that women look for in a man, a pretty man. That's maybe a bonus, but women don't necessarily care about my ability to dress and my manicures and all these stupid things because it doesn't benefit them, correct? Does my manicure benefit you?
I think it depends.
Hold on. Does my manicure benefit you?
I like
Yeah.
I
Yes or
said,
no?
I think it depends. If
I
a
think-
guy doesn't
yeah.
look good and doesn't take, if a guy is not taking like
Yeah.
good care of himself and good
It reflects
hygiene,
on me.
100% it reflects on me.
But it is not a deal breaker to the
It
same
is. It's
degree.
a deal breaker.
It's not,
100%.
it's not a deal breaker to the same degree as if I was a complete bum that had zero ambition living in my mom's basement. But if I was, let's say, a successful guy that had my money together, I went to the gym, etc., but my nails, I bit them, you would probably make an exception because I'm doing
Absolutely
everything
not.
else so well.
Absolutely not.
Oh, you're
because
that picky.
I am that picky because
Yeah.
if you don't take care of yourself and the importance of your hygiene
This is what you call
not
being
as
Why are you
disingenuous.
biting your
important as the
nails?
value
It's
My
of
deeper
nails
than
are
that.
bitten.
if it's
It's deeper than that. You're biting your nails
You
because
just
something
said-
else
but
is
you just said
wrong
your
and
nails are
other
Can I
things
say
like that.
something?
Yo,
Can I
at
say
the end of the
something?
day, when you're in a club where you're at, that shit don't matter, bro. I'm
Exactly.
telling you right now. You're saying that right now on camera, but in the
He's
heat of the
right.
moment,
But
it
I've
don't
been
matter.
in club situations
No,
where girls came up like, oh, I'm telling you know what I'm saying, on some
I
sloppy
think
shit, and
you
niggas been
guys
like,
are
no,
missing
like,
it.
But that's
The-
like
the
something
points-
that's very obvious.
The
Like when I
points is flying over your ladies' heads. I'm simply saying you brought up a bunch of irrelevant things that men don't care about. So what I'm saying is that if I was a man and I had a bunch of things that women didn't care about, like my manicures, my ability to dress well, being a metrosexual, like these are things that women are like, okay, that's cool, but it doesn't really benefit me. You know, that's how men feel about the things that you guys mentioned. Holding my own, being confident. I'm going to give 100%. Like these are fairly masculine tendencies that men don't care about.
okay, so what do men care about?
Not being a hoe, okay, following my lead, being
Yeah.
not a pain in the ass, being quiet, not embarrassing me in front of my friends.
But she
Like,
said all of
very
these
sim-
things, and we all agree
Yeah.
that that's
Right.
Who
Why?
said that?
Why?
No one
What's
said
she
any
said
of
why
that.
are you
I
knocking
said
having
that.
a
So bring
full
your
cock
piece
and
and
Hold
stuff
on.
like no one ever
Not
pointed
one of
what I
you
said.
mentioned anything about. She's the only one that even claimed close to it. Not one of you mentioned anything about being a good girlfriend. I'm not promiscuous. I'm just for him. I'm exclusive. All of you guys mentioned things about your own personal accolades, which is great. I'm not knocking y'all for having them, but I'm saying men don't care about that.
For example, when I
The
step
high
out
value
with
men
my
that we're
man-
talking about.
When I step out with
I'm
my
just
man,
saying you guys are going based off of little brief descriptions of what they
Because
gave of
men are so
themselves, and then we
simple
all
that it's
mutually
hard for
agreed.
women
Like,
to
of course,
understand.
that's just simple things, though.
Hold on.
That's simple things. As a woman, you should hold yourself with that value and respect.
So
of
why
course,
did
you're
you
only
say
for
in the
that
first
man.
place then?
Because I don't know what men want. I don't. I'm
So what are
just
you arguing?
men are
So- go
so simple that it's complicated for us women to understand because we're so complex as to why men have to be like, let me figure out this woman so that I could be with her. Or let me figure out this woman so I can go out on a date with her. Like, for example, I step out with my man and the only thing I know what to do is shut the fuck up until I'm fucking spoken to. Like, I went out with him, like, it was in Arizona. We were in Tempe, Arizona. His whole, like, team had, like, a section or whatever. He was like, babe, do you want to go out to the club? I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm not spoken to. I don't speak to anybody until somebody speaks to me because I don't know these niggas. I don't know them. Like, what am I speaking to you for? I'm here with my man. I'm not here with y'all. I'm not a groupie bitch that's there. Like, you know, as a female, especially as my man's woman, my duty as his woman is to shut up until I am spoken to. And even if I am spoken to by one of his teammates, you keep it short and sweet.
Boom.
And that's what I think she meant when she says that she holds herself with confidence and high value.
That's not even me holding myself with
But-
confidence or high value. That's just me having a sense of like just being a fucking woman.
That's what I.
And
Yeah,
just,
exactly
you
my
know,
point. Yeah.
Like,
Are you
yeah.
her attorney? Apparently, you know what she's thinking.
Nah, I just feel like y'all took what she said like left field. So I was just
Left
So
field.
cool. What out of left field? I'm confused.
of how she gave like little brief, little stupid
Who in particular?
answers.
Are you
This
speaking
one
about?
right here.
Her?
Yeah.
Aaron.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's quite literally
Well-
what. I mean, it's pretty clear what she said.
Yeah.
I didn't take it out of context.
I put
Fine.
some like extra information to that after the fact though, because at the end of the day, you still have to be feminine. You still have
Now you
to.
mentioned that.
Oh, yeah.
I already mentioned that.
Like,
But that's
After
just
When I
the
asked
sex-
you,
how
once
it
again,
should
that's
be.
why I write
Yes,
myself
no,
down.
you're right. But the
Hold
second,
my own, great career, friends and confidence. That's literally what you said.
and then when we,
And isn't her
and then when I
holding her own?
elaborated, I also mentioned, yeah, you cook, you clean, you take care of your man, you bring him like, you have a good meal for him when he gets home from work.
But you didn't elaborate until I actually asked you, do you think high value men want this in return? And then you thought and you said, okay, maybe not actually.
And then I said,
Because you didn't
what's
ask
tangible?
for that
But-
when you
but I
asked.
No, no, no,
elaborate,
no.
but
I
you-
said,
you-
hey,
little
what's
answers.
tangible about that? You
Yeah,
said,
of course, answer your
tangible.
But before anybody mentioned it, I did mention that I do think that that's important as well. But I think to have the full package and to really like, at least for what I'm looking for, I want a man that has the full package. So why wouldn't I return that to him in return? I'm not just going to be a dumb little girl that sits on the sidelines.
You don't have to
I
be
know that I have the full package. And
Well,
you can,
nobody said
I
that.
can still,
Yeah.
no, I know nobody said that, but, and I know that that's not necessarily what men look for, but if you can also offer the feminine side to a man and you can be a good mother and you can be a good partner or wife or whatever you want to call it,
These traits you led with are
and
not feminine, though.
loyal and cook and clean.
But the
but-
traits you mentioned and led with are not feminine.
So what?
I,
Can you
but I'm
explain
not, but I
feminine
never said that I
traits?
didn't think that you had to have all of that as well. I didn't lead with it, but I do think you have to have the full package.
And the fact that you didn't lead with it is very telling because those are probably not your strongest traits. Here's the thing about human nature. Okay. Talked with thousands of
I
people throughout my
disagree.
life. Okay. Criminals, women, etc. When you ask people questions a lot of the times, right? And they give you an honest answer, they don't even got to think about it. It's kind of a reflex. Okay, this is my answer. And then you hit them with maybe a fact, and then they might change their answer based on that fact. So what I'm saying, right, and I kind of know this already from looking at your education and your background, whatever it may be, that you're probably a successful female, making a good amount of money in your regard. So you led with your accolades, which is cool. I'm not knocking you for it. But the fact that you led with your accolades is very telling that the other things that we mentioned, the more feminine qualities that you have, probably aren't as refined as the masculine qualities you
that's-
mentioned.
That's not true. You don't know me.
Uh-oh.
And you don't know
trigger
like
alert.
what I have to offer from that
You
sense.
don't know me.
And
But here's the thing. I know that how career women think, educated women think in general, and the numbers don't lie.
But you're
The
putting her
higher,
in a
let me finish my
category.
point. The higher educated a woman, the more in the professional world she is, the higher earnings she is, the likelihood of divorce in a marriage go up precipitously, around 90%. This is a fact. This is not my opinion. Career women chronically end relationships. Hell, you ended yours just
Yep.
before coming here.
Ooh.
Fair.
Chronically end relationships
Boom.
because they need a man to meet their same level of ambition.
fair. That is so accurate.
How
That
can I
is so
predict
accurate.
that without
But-
knowing you?
You can. can't. You can't. But the thing, look,
Because I know what I'm talking about.
but call my ex and tell me that he didn't have dinner on the table every single goddamn night for him,
Wow.
because I can guarantee you one thing, he did. And
he
the
had
thing
dinner
is,
for you?
no,
No,
I
no,
had
no,
dinner for
she
him.
had
You had dinner for him.
Yes.
Okay. So what does that?
Somebody's
No,
triggered.
nothing. I mean, but we're talking about feminine qualities now. I didn't lead with it, but my point is that you still have to do all of those things as well, and I do agree with that.
So
I
why'd
just
you
didn't
break
lead
up with
with
him
it.
then?
But that's my point. I don't need to keep going on. If you'd like, you can stop.
Wait, so questions. Why did you break up with your ex then?
He was putting her in danger.
Wow. Check that out. They definitely know how to do it over there. Well, I asked that question before. Do women deserve a high value man? I have my thoughts on that, and we can definitely talk about that. For you guys, if you feel a little indifferent, go ahead and leave your comment down below. Let me know what you think. Also, smash the like button. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you don't like what we got going on over here, you can at least have an input. But until then, until next time, peace.
Because I want to fit in.
You get on down, close my eyes, take me for a ride. Ooh.